Number 36, which of the following is the graph of the region 1 is less than x plus y is less than 2 in the standard xy coordinate plane? So we want to choose which one of these graphs is the graph for this inequality. Well, we can break that inequality up into two separate statements. First, we have 1 is less than x plus y, and 1 is less than x plus y would be the same thing as x plus y. Is greater than 1 would mean the same thing. And then the other part of that statement, we have x plus y is less than 2. So both of these statements here, x plus y is greater than 1, and x plus y has to be less than 2. Well, both of those equations, those are equations for lines, if they were equal. So if I would just try to put those in y equals mx plus b, subtract x from both sides of the first one, I get y is greater than negative x plus 1. And the same thing with the second inequality. If I subtract x from both sides, I get y is less than negative x plus 2. And now I just need to match that information with the graphs. Well, these are my boundary lines here. Both of those are going to be both of these are going to be dashed lines because it's greater than and less than, and not greater than or equal to. Less than or equal to, then that would be solid. But since these are just greater than and less than, it would be a dashed line. Well, if I look at those lines, well, both of those have negative slopes. So I can rule out F, G, and H right away because all of those choices have positive slopes. So only J and K are remaining. Well, if I look at my two inequalities, here I have a y-intercept of positive 1. And here I have a y-intercept of positive 2. So I need two lines that have y-intercepts of positive 1 and positive 2. And if I look at J, that has a y-intercept of positive 1, positive 2. K has a negative 1, positive 2. So that does not match. So by process of elimination, we figure out that this is going to have to be J. Number 37, what is the difference between the mean and the median of this set of numbers? 3, 8, 10, 15. Well, they're asking for the difference, so we want to subtract these. So we need to find the mean, and we need to find the median of this set of data, and then we need to find the difference. We need to subtract them. So the mean is another way of saying the average. We want to add all the numbers together. 3 plus 8 plus 10 plus 15. And then divide it by the number of numbers we added together. So divide it by 4. So if we add these all together, 3 plus 8 is 11, plus 10 is 21, plus 15 is 36. So we have 36 divided by 4, which is 9. So the mean is 9. So now we just need to find the median. The median is the number in the middle of all this data, the exact middle of the data, 3, 8, 10, and 15. Well, they're an even number of numbers here. So we want the exact middle, so that would be right in here between the 8 and the 10. Well, number between 8 and 10, exactly in the middle of 8 and 10, would be 9. So our median would be 9. So the mean is 9. The median is 9. So we want to make sure we answer the question that they ask. It says, what is the difference between the mean and the median? So the mean is 9, the median is 9. So the difference, if we subtract those, 9 minus 9, our difference would be 0, which is A. Number 38, which of the following describes a true relationship between the functions f of x and g of x graphed below in the standard xy coordinate plane? Well, f of x is our parabola graphed here, f of x, and g of x is the line. So let's just look at our choices here to see which of these are true. So if we start with f of x equals g of x for exactly 2 values of x. So exactly 2 values. So let's see, f of x is equal to g of x here. And they're equal to each other right here, the points of intersections. So f of x is equal to g of x at exactly 2 values of x. That would be a true statement. So we know that that one is true. Just we want to check our choices real quick just to make sure that there is not an all of these choice, and there's not. So our answer would be F. We don't even need to check anymore. Number 39 asks us to find the slope of segment CD. So here's segment CD. C is at 9,4 and D is at 12,1. And we want to find the slope. And probably the easiest way to find the slope here is to remember our slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or our change in our y coordinates over our change in x coordinates. So if I let C be 0.1, and so I have x1, y1. If I let D be 0.2, I have x2 and then y2. So the slope is the change in the y coordinates. So y2 minus y1. So 1 minus 4 over the change in the x coordinates. Let's see, we're 12 minus 9. So if I subtract the numerator, 1 minus 5 would be negative 3. Subtract the denominator, 12 minus 9 would be 3. Negative 3 over 3 would simplify to negative 1. So the slope would be negative 1. We look at our choices, and that is B, of a slope of negative 1. Number 40, when ABCD, that shape is reflected over the y-axis. So here's the y-axis. So this shape is reflected over the y-axis to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. what are the coordinates of D prime? So here is my D originally, and now I'm going to reflect that. Take this, reflect it over the y-axis. And my new point then, D prime. Well, the only coordinate that's going to change here when I reflect this over the y is going to be my x coordinate. My x coordinate here is positive 12. If I reflect that over the y-axis, it's my new D, or my D prime, is going to be negative 12, 1. And my answer would be F.